Hello everyone, I'm back. Just thought I'd make an attempt to try to do this. Finishing the next couple of games. Going to do my first quick review on three titles. One of which I will apologise is a rant, and I mean a little bit of a rant. And this is only a quick one anyway, but I said I'd try it and see what way it works out. Maybe make more in the future. And as always, input is much appreciated. So as always, like and subscribe. There goes my clock. It goes off every hour, and every time I do a video, it goes off. Why, for some reason. But anyway, I just thought I'd do a quick review on some games that I finished. Been hankering at the games. First one is a 3DS title. It's Super Mario 3D Land. I love it so much. It's long enough for a Mario game. I apologise for that, excuse me. It's long enough for a Mario game. The powers in it are pretty sweet. Even though it's gone into a 3D environment, one of the first, well, that one anyway. It's very, very good. Like the controls, it's very easy to control. The game looks gorgeous. It would be one of the games you'd actually put the 3D slider up on 3DS, because I'm not big on doing that. I could take it or leave it. But this game, that's beside the matter. But this game is pretty sweet. The controls feel really, really smooth. It's very, very detailed. But I feel there is a bit of a difficulty spike. You could pretty much breeze through the first 8 worlds pretty quickly, aside from a couple of the Bowser bosses, which look phenomenal, by the way. And Bowser's Castle looks gorgeous. It's pretty reminiscent of, if you remember, Mario Kart and SNES. And that look, the colour scheme in it is that colour scheme. And it's unbelievably gorgeous, in my opinion. But once you finish the initial game, you then go along and you have the Star World, like in Super Mario World. And they are some of the hardest levels in the game. They are the hardest levels in the game. I just feel if the difficulty was spread out, it would be that much better. But again, it's Mario. It's phenomenal. And I know this is a very quick one, but I just thought I'd give my opinions on this from what I've finished it and played of it. And that's first game down on my list to finish since I started YouTubing. So, Super Mario 3D Land. If I had to put a number on it, which I'm probably going to try and do, I'll give it a 7. Give it a 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10. But again, brilliant, phenomenal game. Absolutely phenomenal game. Now, number 1. Next on my list, which I apologise for anyone who's been talking to me asking really what I've been playing. It's this next game. I have not been able to put it down. I finished the main story of it. There's one or two of the small quests, or one or two the extra chapters, like downloadable content and stuff like that I have to do in this next game. But I finished the main story of it. I've gotten everything you can get up to the point where I am now, and that is a Monster Hunter type game, monster hunting game on the PlayStation Vita. That is called Tokiden Age of Demons. And I jumped on this. I literally, when I got it the day it came out over here, and I put it into my Vita, and I swear it's barely been out on my Vita at all. The game looks phenomenal. There's the world in it it's a very detailed world, and the maps, like Monster Hunter, split up into different areas that you can go into. It kind of feels a little bit restricted at the start. But like with Monster Hunter, they give you one of every weapon type. So the weapon types are, there's the long sword, the bow, the Kusurigami, which is with a handle and a sickle on one end, with a chain, with a mace head on the other end of the chain, the Kusurigama. It has fists, basically fists like big pounding ones, like Hercules gauntlets. If you've ever played God of War, they're like them. There is the spear, which is sweet enough to use, hard to master but pretty sweet to use, and the bow and arrows. I apologise if I am forgetting any. I hope I'm not. No, bow and arrow. Yeah, no, I'm not forgetting any. And it gives you one of those each, and they start you off gradually with the different. There's missions and then there's quests. The missions are typical missions you get in the game: kill X amount of people, kill X number of enemies, and then the quests are ones like find so many bits of soil or find a different kind of items. But you can do multiples of those at once while you're still on the main quest of that chapter. Like chapters are split up into 13 separate missions, and there is 6 chapters in the game, and then there's an extra 2 then on top of that. Once you finish the game, it loads up. The cutscenes is pretty good. It's very detailed. Like there's a Japanese voice acting track with there's no, it's all in Japanese except the text is in English. Of course, it's a European game, but there's not much of the voice acting in it. Is from what I gather and what I listen to, is pretty stellar. When the cutscenes happen, you're your character, but you don't see your character. It's in first person, if you will. That's only in the cutscenes, but the whole game is a third person. There are so many different types of monsters. I think there's a smaller one. There's like the little golems and snakes and like big massive like eels are fucking horribly old. And then there's the bigger type monsters. But they're all set in the Oni, like that one there, that guy there. You actually have to fight him in the game, and you fight a bigger version of him. There's the big monsters, but then there's a subset, like a leveled up version of those types. It's again, like, I know I keep bringing this up, but it is a game like it for those people who might be on the fence, but I highly recommend this. Definitely recommend it. You get items that you use to make the different weapons, so to speak. And then there's actually this whole, you have to go into this pool, but you can only go into the pool at certain times to, interact with the other members of your team, because you get whole 6 people that you can use to go along with you, even playing offline, and even online. Actually, you can put in 1 or 2 of them in it, and each one of the characters is one of has the different weapon type, like the sword, the bow, and that. Each one of those has that. So if you're fighting you have the long sword. You can have a bow, the bow or the fists as the weapons. But there's also these things called matima. You can equip up to 3 of those to your weapon, and they give you stat boosts. They give you your powers. That there's the healer, the attacker, the defender, the swift, and there's also another one for luck, which is pretty like it is luck. You're never 100% guaranteed what it's going to do, and you can equip 3 of those to your weapon, and you can switch and change if you pick a different weapon in a different class, unequip those and put them straight onto the next one. But if you there are combinations of those as well. Like if you have 3 healers, they will give you another stat boost on the weapon itself. Like it's a healer, I think your health gauge is increased. Attacker, you get your attack is increased. Defender, your defense increased. The speed gives you more stamina. Your stamina bar goes up. You get a longer stamina bar. It's a very detailed game. The story in it is quite short. I finished it, well, I suppose about 40 hours. I finished the main campaign, it was about 40 hours. But that was, again, taking the time, doing all the extra side missions before I got to this particular one. But, yeah, no, there's about 200 matima in this game. So there's different types, and each have their own different set of abilities. Like some of them, like vitality, or some of them will give you better defense or better equip. You get your more items better and stuff like that. It's a very, very good game. Highly recommend this. And I apologise for these kind of reviews, and my first time trying them out. So again, helping and things is always appreciated. Now, warning: this is going to be a rant, and this is a pretty bad rant. I was on to a friend of mine, Mick, and he will never play these type of games because they're horrifically hard. like the original ones on the original Xbox, and then the second one on the 360. This one is horrendously bad. Like, the controls, not only are they stiff, there are times in the game you don't realise what the hell is going on. You're losing yourself. Like, I've played all of them to date. Like, even the original ones on the NES. And I've played them all, and there are times you feel like you're pressing buttons, and it's just a blur on screen. I know you're okay. Game, you get some point. Ninja Gaiden 3, the vanilla version, not Razor's Edge. I have to get Razor's Edge, but this is. Where do I begin? I was beginning with the combat and how it's to go. It's substance over style. It's style over substance. Style over substance, sorry, is the way I want to put it. Is the best way I could think of describing this game. The moves look cool. You can pull the moves off if you know the combos. It doesn't. It gives you a technique list, but it's unintuitive and unhelpful. They just literally assume you've played the rest of them, shove you into it, and expect you to fly at this game. The cutscenes are brutal. The only thing for the saving of the cutscenes is the voice acting. I'd prefer if there was a Japanese soundtrack to this game, but again, like, the voice of Ryu Hayabusa is Troy Baker, and Troy Baker does an incredible job because he's an incredible voice actor. The voice actors, all of them in this, are very good. The cutscenes look like crap. I apologise for anyone who likes this game, but I haven't met too many people that have. But I just, like, it's bloody, it's violent, but again, I'd rather feel like I'm causing the violence as opposed to a quick time event every 5 seconds. It feels like if you've ever played Ninja Blade on the 360, like, that was wacky as hell, but it came on to that. That's what it was before. This one, the first two, even Sigma on the PS3 when that came out, they toned down the violence. They toned down the violence on those, but it was a pretty serviceable series. But this, they've taken out so much. You hack body parts to pieces, but yet they're still intact. Like, you go through people, you literally see the sword go through someone, but they're still together. You chop someone's head off, the head is still there. It's only a small gripe, but there are times, like, there's one, I have spoilers, now this is spoilers by the way. There's one of the bosses, you fight a dark version of him. He's overpowered. He does moves that not even you can do. I know that's standard fare, but there are times when I'm pressing the button and he's running on his own. I'm not touching the run button. I'm pressing the attack button. And it doesn't work. Like, it's infuriating. There are times you die, you know. Like, I can pull off, there's a move in it called the Asuna drop. I can pull that off without thinking. But it doesn't do it half the time. When I wanted to do it, I know how to do it. And the weapon thing, they shove you in. Okay, I know there are games like, for example, Dark Souls. Dark Souls is a horrendously hard game, but it's set up like that. But in saying that, they will give you items to help yourself. You get better at the game. This shoves you into a boss with no way of healing yourself. Like, in this day and age, even the hardest games on the NES, like, had some way of doing it. The weapons. There are 3 weapons in this game. Your standard one, your fast one, which is the claws, and your heavy one, which is the Eclipse Scythe. I think it's still the Eclipse Scythe. Well, it wasn't the other ones. And it gives you a bow and arrow and kunai. Those things there he has strapped to his leg. They, again, do no fucking damage. There's no point in doing... The only point in doing that is to stop the smaller enemies from attacking you. They do nothing to the big enemies. They bounce off the big enemies. Aside from the helicopters, because it's the only way you can kill them. But it's just... It's horrendously... Like, the areas in it are bland. Like, the enemies, the normal enemies have... They string together the same type of enemies, just colour code them different. You know they have a sword, you know they have a gun, or the other ones, you know they have a shield and they have 2 what look like plasma daggers. And it's rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat. You go in, clear a room, go to the next bit. Go in, clear a room, clear the next bit. Get to the big, massive, stupid bosses that make no sense in this flippin' series. I don't understand. I don't know what Razor's Edge is like. I don't know if they've improved that. I know they added a couple of characters, which is Ayane and the woman with the big, massive spear thing. You meet her in that, and you meet her in the other one. Sigma as well. She's in Sigma 2. But it's not a great game. Anyone who likes the Ninja Gaiden series, Gaiden or Gaiden, I call it Gaiden. Anyone who likes this, and likes the series, stay away from this game. It will infuriate you like hell. It's not because it's hard. It is because it is hard, but with this series, that's what you expect. But to shove you into a boss battle, to handicap you to such a degree that you'll have to try and beat him at least 15 times. You have to be psychic at times to play this bloody game. There are times where, like that particular boss, the dark version of him, he does a massive Hadouken. You'd swear it's a Hadouken. There's really and utterly no way to get past it unless you run around him like a stook. There are things you're meant to jump, like with the original series, most walls, actually nearly any wall, you could run up and you could do the moves. There are times, and with this you can't. You see a wall, you jump up like an idiot. You can kill enemies with one shot in them in this game. It does not make sense. The magic system, which is called Nimbo, still called Nimbo, they give you one. It's meant to be a screen clearing super. It doesn't kill half the enemies. Like, I don't know. I think it's atrocious. And I love the Ninja Gaiden series, but this one is a pile of monkey's anus. That's my rant. And I tried to incorporate Move into it. Didn't work. Thank God I never played Move. So, there are the 3 games that I have finished. So far, as of the last month or two. But then again, I'm still going through this, but finished the main story and completely done with this. But still keep it, but completely done with it. That's a box that's not actually, it's not in it. And it didn't come with a manual, which annoys me. But again, I got the game off a very good friend of mine. He gave me it as a Christmas present about a couple of years ago. And he had no box for it. But I got a box and printed a sleeve, so grand. Now, as always, I thank you for watching my channel. I do apologise for the rant, but I had to get that off my chest. As always, like and subscribe, and leave any comments of any games you think I might like, or if adding to my ranting or reviewing of very light reviewing is what I'm going to call this one. Light reviewing of these games. As always, have a great day, and I'll see you all on the flip side. Bye bye.